So $2.3 billion in carbon tax rebates were just paid out, and every time. Whenever the carbon tax is in the news, we get flooded with all sorts of comments like this from people saying, "I don't get the rebates." Spoiler alert, they actually probably do, or at least they should. More on that in a sec. If you live in one of the 8 provinces where the federal carbon tax applies, you are eligible for the rebates. And the confusion around this isn't just on social media. In a recent Angus Reid poll, 25% of Canadians who are eligible for the rebates said they don't believe they get them, and another 32% said they weren't sure.
What you have through these data is a massive number of Canadians who either believe that they are not receiving a rebate when they are, or don't know if they're receiving a rebate or not.
It's not some kind of partisan thing either. Whether people voted Conservative, Liberal, or NDP, they all had pretty much the same beliefs in this poll. What's going on? Well, a few things. These days, most people get their carbon tax rebates via direct deposit, but they don't always show up in your bank statement that way. They've shown up in the past as anything from Canada Fed to EFT deposit from Canada. Now, if you're not signed up for direct deposit with the Canada Revenue Agency, you should be getting a check in the mail. But if you recently moved, the check might be going to the wrong place. You can actually check on your Canada Revenue Agency site whether there's any uncashed checks owed to you. Now, another confusing factor is that the rebates go to tax filing households. So that means if you're married or living common law, your partner might be getting your rebate instead of you. Typically, it's whoever filed their taxes first. The amount you get will vary depending on which province you live in and the size of your household. And if you live in a rural area, you get a 10% bonus on top of those amounts. Now, if you're behind on filing your taxes, you're missing out on a fair bit of money.
That's tax-free money that people get, right? So you don't have to include this anywhere. You don't pay taxes on this. That's money you can spend. And that's money that people leave on the table if they do not file their taxes.
The good news is you can file your taxes for past years and claim all of those rebates that are still owed to you. But if you have filed your taxes and you live in one of the 8 provinces where the carbon tax applies, and you've checked your bank account, looked for uncashed checks, and talked with your spouse, and you're still sure that you haven't received the rebates, well, you should call the Canada Revenue Agency or a tax professional, because that's some money you're missing out on.